Hey there guys, I'm Hello Japan, and welcome to Assassin's Creed 3. So, we just wrapped up Assassin's Creed Revelations, and with that, we saw the end of Ezio's Assassin's Days, as well as the very end of his story that has been told, well, at least thus far, within the Assassin's main story games. Now, I know they've explained the rest of his life, his older age, and his death within a cartoon or animation of some kind. I haven't personally watched it. I think I've seen how he died. It was kind of anticlimactic. It wasn't anything related to Assassins, it was more so him just remembering something and it's like, oh, trauma, if I do remember correctly, but you can go look that up on your own time. However, today we're gonna begin not my favorite Assassin's game. Now, keep in mind this is the last Assassin's game I have actually played through beforehand. All the games up until this point I've already played once, once over. Once we get to Assassin's Creed 4, every game after that, 4 and Unity, and if I decide to do any of the side games. Like, I know... shoot, what was that new one that just came out? It's Assassin's Creed something China. It was like that 2.5D side-scroller game. I might pick that up because that just seems interesting. But things like Liberation, and like the offshoots of the series are just spin-off games. I don't think I'm gonna play. Maybe I'll play 1 or 2 of them, like I said. But don't really, anticipate any of those games. I've always been just a main series guy, and like that's that's as much as I like to play. So as per usual, the videos will be 15 to 20 minutes in length. This one might be a little bit longer, depending on what happens in the beginning here. But before we get started, I want to take note that this is a redo session. When I went to go record, or when I went to go edit the first session of videos, or first session of episodes, rather, I noticed that there was no audio to the game whatsoever. And you just can't do that. So, I'm gonna have to sit down and play about 2 hours or so of Assassin's Creed 3 again. As you can see, I already have about 5.5 hours into the game, which is pretty substantial, but I still have a ton left to go. This game is fairly long compared to the previous 3 games. It's probably most similar in length to Assassin's Creed 2. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Assassin's Creed 4, the one after this, is the longest game thus far, at least in terms of how long it takes to actually finish the game. So I may actually skip some things in this first session, just to cut some corners for myself. But keep in mind, I spent, like the first session of episodes for this first two sequences was like 2.5 hours or something, so it was pretty hefty, and I did most of the stuff I could do. So if I do skip on something, just have it in the back of your mind that I've already done that before in a few episodes that you haven't seen before. So yeah, after this, it may come off as kind of strange. Maybe, probably not, hopefully not. I'm not sure. Once you begin sequence 3, I think is when I make the new episode. But yeah. Anyway, let's get started here. This is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. Okay, this is the weird thing. It is and it isn't. Part of me really likes it because it was like, oh, this is like the most innovative. We're finally leaving Ezio. Ezio's been my favorite person. Here's a new character, Connor. And then here's the part I don't like. I don't really like Connor. Connor's okay, but he's just okay. Ezio, to me, he was suave as a motherfucker. And I really, really like that about him. But with Connor, once we get to meet him, you'll see not so much. So let's go ahead and get started here. We'll just call it Hello Japan, I guess, just to make it different. But
used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up. Or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars, as the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years, even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end. We're here. Let's go.
Okay. So here we are, guys. This is Assassin's Creed 3. As of now, or as of this point in the series, it is the best looking Assassin's game. Now, granted, compared to what, Unity and Assassin's Creed 4, nah, this is pretty shoddy looking, but at least up to this point of the series, when did this game come out? Like, what, 2010? Maybe 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. Whenever this game came out, it was pretty good. It was pretty damn good looking. And especially so on PC, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, it's... you know, the one thing I always found weird about this game is that they threw in... or the series at this point now, is they started putting in the whole, like, Mayan 2012 end of the world stuff. And I thought, you know, the end of the world stuff on its own was like, oh, that's cool. It's a cool plot device. And they could have done something more generic, like, oh... in 6 months this will happen or something. I think they even mentioned that. But then they specified December 1st, 2012. It's like... or December 21st, 2012, or whatever the date was. But it's like, come on, like, why do you have to throw in the whole Mayan thing? It always bothered me. I don't know why. There's probably some deeper meaning behind it that I just don't know. But it always, like, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, let's go inside this cave and, oh, see if we can't find, what we're looking for.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
Nice. This is creepy as balls. What in the world? Kind of cool though. I like it. How are you guys? How are you guys gonna get up there? Are we going up there? Oh, where's this doorway? Oh, looks like a doorway. Open sesame. Open up, man.
I think we're here.
Okay. Whoa. What the? You guys, guys coming down? Okay. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is cool looking. Whoa.
Key. You must find the key.
Son? Sir.
Here we go again.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there.
Okay, so this is a good excuse to use, not an excuse, but a good reasoning behind the new, parkour, new running and jumping mechanics. Now, it's not really new per se, it's just they've updated it, made it a little bit more, added a little bit more finesse to it, and updated it for Connor. Once we get to him, we'll see why his climbing is a little bit different than Altair's and Ezio's. Let's just say there's a lot more trees involved than those two.
Okay, Desmond. Let's practice climbing on these objects.
There we go. Ugh. So this is pretty easy. It's nothing more than just showing newbies, you know, how the game works. I really wish you could skip it because it is kind of annoying. Now it does blend right into the story pretty well, but it's still like a tad bit unnecessary.
Free run your way through this little obstacle course.
Whoa! Don't do that! Don't do that! Ugh! Go! 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 Nice.
That's a constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate. Alright, Desmond. Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
Bloop! Good. Oh, he rolled back over. Oh, poor baby. Good thing to see air assassinations are still here, because those were one of the coolest things. Especially if you were able to nail a double air assassination with Ezio and his 2 hidden blades. You come down on both of them and pa. And one of my favorite things, I don't think, maybe I did once or twice, was walking up in front of 2 unaware guards and stabbing both of them in the face at the same time. I always thought that was really cool. There we go. Nice. Ugh, get up there. Ooh. What are you doing? Oh, jump. Yeah, but I'm ready to leave the 360 behind once and for all. Because once I finish up Assassin's Creed 3, I don't know if there's going to be too many other 360 games that I actually want to do Let's Plays of. Most of the games now are either on Xbox One or PS4, and still PS3, because I have a shit ton of games I want to play on PS3 still. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think there's too much more else I want to play. Kind of sad, but, yeah, everything comes to an end, I guess.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Okay. And we will find that out next time. Yep, so we're going to leave it off here for today, guys. Come back tomorrow where we're going to get introduced to Connor? Is that Connor? Is it not Connor? Who is it? Not really sure. Whoever it is, we will get introduced to him next time. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, sorry if I felt a little really about the whole thing. It's just really because I hate it when I have to re-record stuff. It's just the most frustrating thing. Especially for something as dumb as audio not being there. I have no idea why it failed. I checked before I started this to see if audio was capturing properly, and it was. Thank God. So I won't have to play through this again, but if for some reason it doesn't work, you're gonna get an episode without a couple episodes without audio. So yeah, hopefully you don't have that doesn't happen. Hopefully. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching today's episode. As always, if you enjoyed the video, give the video a like, and more so give it a comment, because I really like hearing from you guys. But that will wrap it up for today. So, I've been Hello Japan, this has been Assassin's Creed 3, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another episode. See ya!